Hey everybody, and welcome to the Dr. Mom Show. It's Dr. D, Mom of Three. I'm so excited to have you on today, and I'm super duper excited because I have my second VIP guest. That's right, all my guests are VIP. Today I have Dr. Lisa Di Enno with us, who I can't wait for her to talk to you a little bit more and you to discover all the great things that she has done and all the things that she's doing and all the things that she has in store for her future and the impact that she's going to make. And hopefully you could be a part of that impact that she does make. Just a couple of housekeeping things. Don't forget to share the video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button at the bottom of the screen. I always get confused where it is. I think it's on this side, on your right, my left. And then, of course, we'll have all the information for Dr. Di Enno and what we'll be talking about today at the bottom. So if you want to check that out, you can. Also, don't forget the holidays are coming up. So if you haven't gotten your copy of my devotional, Mom, don't forget, meditate, overcome, motivate. This is a 30-day devotional for moms, just a great way. As I always tell you, it was a reminder, even as I became a mom to the Tripsies, to remind us moms that we're beautiful, that we're favored, that we're strong, just all the promises that God has given to us, because I feel it's very easy to forget those promises. And I'm even more excited. I mean, there's so much to be excited about right now. I can't even control it. That the Tripsies and Me will officially be released Monday, September 30th. My book signing will be in Georgia. And that will be the weekend of the 28th. So if you are there, definitely check us out. You can check out the flyer on our Facebook page, the Dr. Mom Show, for more information. It's a free event, but the books will be available. You'll get to meet myself and the crew. And if you want the book signed by either me or all four of us, now I can't guarantee that all the letters will be where they should be when they sign, but they've been working on it. Alina's N is backwards, by the way, but that's okay. N's are tricky. That's what she says. This is tricky. So I'm so excited about that. So let's get right into it. Don't forget, you can comment at the bottom. If you have any questions for Dr. Di Enno after the show, I'll definitely get those to her. And I'm sure she'll give us some contact information if you want like direct access to her or the company, if you have any specific questions for them. But yes, let's delve right in it. So let's welcome Dr. Di Enno. Woo!
Hi. Ends are tricky. Ends are tricky. Yeah, I feel that on a deep level.
I was like, maybe do the end, like just maybe do a like a baby end, not a capitalized end, like a small end. Just do the small end. But no, she's like out and adamant about doing the big end. So
Love it. Love it.
so well, welcome. I'm so excited and privileged to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. So Dr. Di Enno, so just so you guys know, she is the medical director of the, I'm going to say this wrong, even though she just told
you're
of the digital online market.
You're very close. I'm the medical director of the XpertCare online digital clinic.
There we go. She said it. All we need to know is she's the medical director over there. So that's all you got to know. So yeah, so she's going to talk to us more about the company XpertCare. Just to give you a little background, I'm sure a lot of you know about telehealth or telemedicine. It's become bigger and bigger over the past few years. There's some larger companies, some smaller companies, and even local companies, even local physicians who offer it to their patients. But I really like it just because I think it offers convenient medicine that you don't have to leave your job or your home, or if it's in the middle of the night. So there's lots of conveniences to it that you can get access to care kind of anytime you want it. So I definitely like it. So she's gonna first we're gonna talk a little bit about her, because we got to find out about her. We got to find out about the medical director. And then we'll talk more about the company. So tell us a little bit about you. She's really cool. So
Aw, thanks. I'm Lisa Di Enno. Please feel free to call me Lisa, please. I'm Lisa Di Enno. I'm a pediatrician, general pediatrician. And I'm actually also an active duty Navy officer. I'm currently in the Navy, but I'm getting out really soon. I've been a pediatrician in the Navy my entire pediatrics career. And, I love, love, love my military families, but I just do not like working for the Navy. So time for a change. I'm at the end of my commitment. I think it's time for a change.
The SWAT team is going to be rolling up in here soon.
I know. So, what's that? The Department of Defense told me I have to stop talking bad about the Navy. I wasn't. I have two girls myself. They're not so little anymore. One is 12, Olivia, and one is 2. Her name is Penelope. We call her Penny. Having my own kids has tremendously informed my practice of medicine. I don't know how it can't as a pediatrician. And it has really made me, sensitive to the struggles parents face. And it's part of the reason I'm super excited about being part of the XpertCare family. But yeah, I'm married to a pediatrician. That has its ups and downs, but it's definitely, you're married to another doctor when your trump card in an argument is show me your evidence. I want to see your evidence.
I love it.
And then that's fighting words right
That's
there
so
for two
true.
doctors.
That's true.
Yeah, show me. I need to see your citations on that.
So at least you guys are like the same specialty. So most of you guys know I'm married to a surgeon. And let me tell you something. I know people right, and Dr. Di Enno know this, because when you come out of medical school, no matter what your specialty is, people think because you've gone to medical school that you still know everything about medicine. And in reality, you should probably be scared of people who say that they know everything about everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So as we get out, we get exposed to everything, but when you get out, you're kind of in your niche and learning and specializing on what you do. And my husband and I, when we get into little tips, he's like, oh, well, listen, I'm like, first of all, you're a surgeon. You don't even know what you're talking about.
Yes.
so I totally feel you on that. I'm like, because even when we talk about stuff with the kids, I'm like, no, this is that. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, hello, I'm the pediatrician, mister. You probably haven't used a stethoscope in years. I don't know what you're talking about. So totally get it. Feel you on that one. See, these are the struggle. The hashtag struggle is real.
Struggle is real.
So awesome. Well, it sounds like you have an amazing family. That's so great.
Yeah, I'm blessed beyond measure. My family's so. I mean, it sounds. I'm sorry, it's ridiculous. We all have families. We all know how special they are to us. Yes. But it just makes me. I just glow with pride when I think about my kids. My husband, he's pretty okay, but my kids are awesome.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Well, good. Well, tell us a little bit of how you got involved with XpertCare.
Sure. So, getting out of the Navy, got to find a new job. Clearly, it's going to be pediatrics. Part of the reason I'm leaving in the Navy is because I feel like I was frustrated by the lack of control I had over my career, my life. And so I kind of went a total 180 to telemedicine, where I would have all of the control over my schedule, my work hours, where I live, things like that. And so I was looking around at different opportunities. I came across XpertCare through a telehealth Facebook group. They were initially hiring general pediatricians to kind of field primary care consults for their subspecialists. XpertCare started as a provider-to-provider subspecialty consult service. They're looking for general pediatricians to kind of weed out inappropriate consults. That's how I got involved. But when they found out this was my full-time job, that I was going to be working telehealth full-time, they approached me and said, hey, we've wanted to do direct-to-patient care for some time, but we've never found anybody who was interested in supporting it from the doctor side. Would you be interested in doing direct-to-patient care through telemedicine? And I said, sure, why not? Let's do it.
Yeah. We're so easygoing, especially pediatricians. I mean, we're so laid back. I remember being in training and my attendings, you're like, when you're a senior, you want to get feedback. So you're like, how are you doing? Oh, you're doing so great. Keep up the good work. And you're like, tell me something wrong so I can improve. I know I'm not perfect. So that's one flaw of pediatricians. We're overly nice.
Yes. Give me something actionable. I'm supposed to be growing here.
Yes. I know I'm not perfect. I know I did something wrong.
Yes. Come on.
So funny. Well, awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about XpertCare, and the services that are offered with it.
Sure. Absolutely. XpertCare is at its core provider to provider consult service. We have a number of pediatric subspecialists working with us. We have GI, we have child psych. We just brought a developmental pediatrician on board who, fun fact, was my mentor in residency.
That's great.
She found out about XpertCare through me. She's
Awesome.
retired Air Force. Molly Chartrand, just amazing. We just brought her on for Devo Peds. I mean, we've got adolescent medicine. We've got gender conforming adolescent medicine healthcare for our LGBTQ adolescents. Which, you know, the AAP's put out a policy statement about the importance of gender affirming care. So I was very surprised to see XpertCare had gone ahead and had an LGBTQ friendly adolescent medicine physician on board. That's God bless adolescent medicine.
Yep. Oh, you're so right about that. So right about that.
Man, so hard. You know, it is a wide variety. We have an orthopedic surgeon. We're bringing on a pediatric, general surgeon, a pediatric surgeon, in addition to the pediatric orthopedic surgeon. It is just a huge resource. And now we are branching into the direct-to-patient care model.
Okay.
So it is starting with me as general pediatrics. It's acute visits at this point in time. We will eventually be branching into Wells. Yes. And it is my understanding that they are starting to work on direct-to-patient care with these subspecialists.
Okay. Now,
so go for it.
This is so interesting because I really do love this, because let's be realistic here. Okay. Who's a mama? Wave if you're a mama out there. Now, I just want to say, that's right. I just want to say, I was just going to throw this out there. I'm not feminist at all, not at all. But I do feel that being a professional mother is harder than being a professional dad. And, none of us are asking. I'm Dr. Di Enno, she's like hardcore. She was in the Navy. Like, this is legit here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to use my triplets. Like, I'm going to use my triplets as her, like, Navy is like, we're on par there. Surviving that and her surviving the Navy, which I'm pretty sure the Navy is harder than my triplets.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
But what I'm trying to get to is that, and I'm sure, I don't know if you've experienced this, Dr. Di Enno, but I get called by my first name all the time. I've worked with my husband once, and I've never heard anybody call my husband by his first name, but I've gotten called by my first name, and it's not like a pride thing. It's not, I don't care. I'll tell my, staff in the past, like when we're just hanging out, I'm like, oh, you can call me Delene, whatever. We're not in front of patients.
Yep.
But when people do it, I feel, I'm just kind of like, I almost feel like it's disrespectful, because we work just as hard as our husbands to get where we are. Dr. Di Enno took the same board exam her husband did, to become a pediatrician. And, if you're listening and you're out there, if you have a physician, some physicians are comfortable. Some people are like, oh, whatever, call me Delene, da, 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 da. But I think just out of respect, kind of like how we have an uncle, aunt, or like me living in the South, I really do like this. People have a tendency to say like Miss Lisa and things like that. And I do kind of like that respect element of it. It's just out of respect, because people have worked hard to get where they are. And I guess the other thing that gets me too, there's all these like PhDs that get called doctor, and not that I have anything against like PhDs, but they need like another title than like doctor, because I think it gets confusing for people. But I know PhDs who will like stand firm and say like, this is my name, it's Dr. whatever, whereas physicians will kind of let it slide. But I tell you what, physicians work really hard. I mean, we work very hard vigorous hours. I don't know if it's as hard as the Navy. I can't speak for that. Dr. Di Enno can speak.
No, dude, it's been a sweet career in the Navy.
Well, that's good. But
yeah, no, I definitely agree with you on that. It's a little bit hard. It's it's a whole topic in and of itself. There's entire college classes, of course. Dedicated to gender studies. But no, I've never heard one of my male counterparts be called by their first name. I've never heard of one of my male counterparts being mistaken for the nurse.
Yes. Amen. Hallelujah.
I've had a number of different occasions where, what was it? I walk in and the family member's on the phone and they say, okay, hold on a second. The nurse is here. Yes. I'm like, hold on a second real fast, just so you're clear.
Yeah. Yes.
And I definitely in residency one time had a family complain because they said they hadn't seen a doctor all day. And I think I'd updated them like 3 times throughout the day. And I mean, okay, I was a resident. So if you want to say I have not seen the doctor all day, as in the staff attending, I can write that one off. But I haven't seen a doctor all day. I was like, no.
Yeah. And the only reason I was saying that is I just want to support what Dr. Di Enno is saying, because to the listeners out there, if you're watching the video, I don't want you to think that Dr. Di Enno came out from the Navy and is like, oh, well, I don't want to practice. She obviously still wants to do what she loves. She just wants to be able to also do other things that she loves, like spend time with her family if she has other hobbies. And I feel a lot of times in society now, people are like, oh, you're doing that. But you know what? I'm like, more power to that, because we live one life. We don't have a certainty of anything. You can make plans, whatever you want, that 10 years from now that you'll finally take that trip that you've always wanted to take. But I'm a firm believer, you know what? Take that trip now, because you don't know, next week you may be in the ICU and you never know what's going on. So, So I was just throwing it out there to women who are out there who are like on the fence about switching their schedules or do what makes you happy. At the end of the day, you have to do what makes you happy and do what you love. So I really have a lot of respect for Dr. Di Enno and love that, she didn't come out and just get bogged down by chains of society, but she's really trying to mold her schedule into something that she loves, because it's hard to live a life when you don't love what you're doing or how you're doing it. That makes it difficult. So kudos to you, Dr. Di Enno.
Thank you.
So awesome. So as you can tell, from XpertCare right now, they're doing more consulting services, and it looks like they have a pretty significant amount of consultants so far. And consultants, just are specialists. We call specialists and subspecialists. Those are people who train, but even subspecialize in something specific. So like she talked about physicians who just do adolescent care, psychiatry, which there's a huge need, developmental pediatrics, huge need for that. If anybody has a family member with autism, any delays, I mean, those wait times are like almost a year when I refer my patients. It's insane. The wait times. So I think this is great, because a lot of these providers don't have to lay hands on the patient in order to get a good assessment. Because a lot of those physicians look at how a child is interacting with their parents, how they're playing when other people are in the room. So these are all things that can be done by video. So I love that. I definitely love that aspect, because I mean, if my patient could get in sooner via telemedicine than wait a year, because one of the key things, especially with developmental pediatrics, is the sooner you get those kids into therapy and the more aggressive you are, their likelihood of doing better with time is exponential. So I really love that. I love that so much. So yeah, I'm loving this. I'm loving it. Well, awesome. Well, and then I'm super excited about them also doing direct primary care, because I do feel there is a need, because people can't always, Dr. Di Enno and I, when we were talking on the phone, we were talking about just people, leaving their jobs, and then if they have more than one child. And I was telling her one thing I've seen is that parents will keep all of their kids home from school when only one child has an appointment, just because they don't have either transportation or anybody else to get their other children. So, you have these kids missing all these days when they really shouldn't be. So I think this is just a great option for them.
Yeah. No, I think this is a really great adjunct to in the office medicine. I don't think telemedicine will replace the in-person
Yeah.
Physician encounter. Nothing's going to replace that human touch, that face-to-face encounter. But there is, and Dr. G knows what I'm talking about, there is so much stuff that I can look across the room and be like, that kid has hand, foot, and mouth disease.
Yeah.
And there is no reason that mom's got to, take off work, because they're going to ask the mom and not the dad most often.
Yeah.
Is it's going to fall to the mom. But shout out to all you hardworking dads taking off work to take kids to doctor's appointments for real.
And know what's going on.
Right? Oh God, please. And don't just shove a note at me.
Yeah.
Shove a note. Here's mom's question. Sorry.
I love it. We love you, dads, but I mean, not all dads have it together.
Yeah. Thanks we're here for you. But yeah, I mean, why, if I can do anything to make a parent's life just a little bit easier, I really do try. That's always been something I've done. I know what it's like to struggle with work and a sick kid. I know what kind of demands are on these parents' times. And I think what we've got going on with telemedicine really can be helpful for those things that do not need you to take that time off from work, pack all the kids in the car, drag them into the office, for something a doctor can walk in the door of the clinic room and just say, yep, yeah, that's definitely hand, foot, and mouth. You need a note? Here's your note. I can sign that, scan it, and email it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, so I agree.
I think it's very helpful for parents, and I'm really excited to see what we can affect with it.
Yeah, I think it's great. And just to reiterate what Dr. Di Enno was saying, that, this isn't here to take over one-on-one care, because number one, I just want to say I would never give up my TLC time with my babies. There's just something about that. I mean, I'm all up, and I'm sure Dr. Di Enno is too. That's something about.
I'm worried about not being there.
Oh, it's okay. I'll send the triplets in a box with holes in it, of course. Yes. She needs some love. We're going to ship them out to where Dr. Di Enno is. So, So it's almost like robots, you can make technology. The other day, my husband and I were looking at this company. And I mean, I just feel this is so crazy. This is so movie when we saw this, but a company is starting to create robot police officers. And pretty much they have cameras on them. So if something happens, I guess because of the recording and they have a GPS system, they're able to locate. So the robot can follow if, let's say, a perpetrator steals somebody's bag, they can follow them, whatever. Okay. So we were kind of talking about things like, what if they shoot the robot, or, what if something happens?
Oh no!
And and then ultimately, when you think about it, as advanced as technology and computers and things like that are, there's nothing that will be able to replace the human touch. And I think being a physician is huge. There's nothing like seeing your doctor. And I think the other thing that's very important is that, when you see your physician knows what your baseline is. So let's say I went in, and let's say Dr. Di Enno was my doctor. She took me because I'm a kid. She took me, and so she knows me. And let's say I call her in telemedicine. I'm like, Dr. Di Enno, I have this huge spot. She's seen me before, so she knows that my arm never had that spot. So that helps her. Whereas if I went to somebody who didn't know me, they're like, oh, well, I don't know what your skin normally looks like. Yeah. So I do like that part too, as far as a little bit more continuity of care with the telemedicine with the company. So, well, I'm sure the audience has some questions about what time is it 24/7 or there's certain hours right now that they can call in?
Great question. So you can book right now it's 7 days a week, but about 16 hours a day because it's just me right now. And I do have to sleep for just a little bit of time every day.
That's like a proven fact that if you don't get enough sleep, it's the equivalent of being intoxicated with alcohol. So make sure you let Dr. Di Enno sleep.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so it's about 16 hours a day, 7 days a week right now. My first appointment slot is at 5 o'clock in the morning. And my last one is at about 8 o'clock at night. Stuff happens overnight. It always seems worse overnight.
Yeah.
That way I can get a little bit of sleep, but then I can get in there early to reassure parents, answer questions. And what I really wanted to do with that early opening time was to be able to grab all the stuff parents need to get checked out before they go to work, before they drop the kid off at the daycare. Should they go to daycare? Can they get a note? Things like that. So eventually we do want to go 24 hours a day. That is the plan. That is the plan, to go 24/7. But right now, as we are just starting, and we've been open for 48 hours at this point in time.
Whoop, whoop. 48
hours.
24 hours
Tuesday. I can't
in.
remember what day it is. 24 hours in, it's okay so far. We're doing okay so far. Yeah, the plan is to go 24/7 as we bring on more physicians. The plan is to go countrywide. Right now it's California, and we'll quickly expand to Virginia. Those are the 2 states I have medical licenses in. Okay. We are going to be bringing on other physicians in other states. I know there is a physician in Georgia who is interested. I know there's another physician, I want to say, in New York who is interested. Both of those individuals, though, practice full-time in the clinic, are more interested in this as a kind of a part-time side gig. Doctors have side gigs.
Yeah, doctors have side gigs. Like, that's how bad it is. So just saying, all you people who make comments, I've had patients make comments in the past like, you would know because you make all this money,
please.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we make good money. I mean, we make above the average American, but you know what? We also have debt when you come out. That, what's nice with the military, if you're thinking about medical school, when you join any sect of the military, you do have to pay back by serving as a physician in the military for a certain amount of time, but at least they help you with your loan repayment. There's usually jobs will help you with loan repayments if you work at some special clinics. So people don't take all of that into consideration. Then people also don't take into consideration call and all the paperwork that we do, because the majority of physicians, we don't get paid for that. So like, look at Dr. Di Enno, she's working 16-hour days. I mean, that's like double what normal people work. So I mean, and one issue I have is with the athletes. I mean, I know athletes train hard, but when you talk about physicians, firefighters, police, I mean, these are people who are like saving lives and going out of
teachers, public school
teachers. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. I mean, so I vote for Dr. Di Enno as president. I was born in South America, so I can't be president. But Dr. Di Enno, when she becomes president, so I can be like maybe Surgeon General or something when she becomes president.
Sure.
And we're gonna probably cut athletes' salaries in half, and then give it to like civil servants who like really deserve it. But I agree, teachers, man, I wouldn't be where I am without my family or my teachers. So yeah, it is crazy how society has this very backwards. Or like an actor or actress who like work out 6 hours a day. I wish somebody paid me millions of dollars to work out 6 hours a day. I'd take that gig. Oprah, where are you? Look, me and Dr. Di Enno, we're right here. We're ready to go. Well, awesome. Now another question is, as far as cost, is this covered by insurance? Is this cash?
Great question. At this point in time, it is not covered by insurance. Right now, it is pay up front with a credit card or a debit card, I suppose. But I know the credit card for definite. Sorry. But we are working very hard to get covered by all major insurance companies, including TRICARE. And that is the one that's military insurance. And that is the one we are closest to getting at this point in time.
Great.
I live in California. I am on Camp Pendleton right now. That's where I'm stationed. My husband and I are stationed. And there are there's at least, I actually just stopped and counted real fast. I did a quick Google search yesterday. There's like 20 military bases in the state of California.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. All military personnel and their dependents are covered by TRICARE. And we're working hard to get started with that. But the plan is definitely to be covered by all major insurance. But at this point in time, it's pay as you go.
That's awesome. And one thing, just my experience with TRICARE is I know there's a lot of offices that don't take TRICARE.
Yep.
So I know a lot of times I've had families and like staff that's had if they had a spouse or anything that was in the military, and they're limited. So I think this would be a great service for that, to be able to get in and do some other stuff. So I'm assuming since that's the case, no referral is needed.
To see me, no.
Okay.
No referral is needed.
Okay.
I actually called TRICARE, and I would like somebody. My company is working on it. XpertCare is working on it. They have insurance people that work for XpertCare. We talk to the insurance people at the insurance companies. I myself just called TRICARE one day and said, hey, I have patients that are interested in doing telemedicine for sick visits. Is that covered by TRICARE? And there is a section on the website, which it's a little bit opaque, the language, but it made it sound like telehealth urgent care visits would be covered the same way in-person urgent care visits are covered. That's the way I read it.
Yeah.
But we're looking into it because I don't want any of our families to get stuck with.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
No, I hear you.
That's ridiculous.
Now, as far as a subspecialist, would they see like you, for example, first a general pediatrician, then you kind of triage this to say like, hey, yes, you do need to see an allergist, or no, at this point you're good?
No, from what I can tell in the company itself, you don't need to see a primary care provider first. There is another pediatrician that is doing direct-to-patient care at this point in time. She's a pediatric allergist.
Okay.
She's a pediatric allergist. So if you went to our website and you want to book an appointment, there are two options. There are me, and there is Dr. Sonal. And so you can see Dr. Lisa or Dr. Sonal, but I do general pediatrics, and she's an allergist.
Got it.
And I did ask her, are you going to cover any general peds? And she was like, no, just allergy.
Okay. So right now, so just to clarify, Dr. Di Enno is the only one doing pediatrics. If you do go on the site and you have more general pediatric question, like if your child is sick or anything like that, Dr. Di Enno is the one that you want to schedule your appointment for.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of appointments, are the appointments scheduled, or as soon as you go on, you automatically get picked up?
Now, there is a schedule. You pick a time slot. And then, at that appointment time, you're logged in, I'm logged in, I click a button, and then we get a video feed like we have going on right here. And you are able to upload documents or pictures if you want to for me to look at. There's an option for you to do that. As you're booking the appointment, there's places to fill out past medical history, surgical history, things like that. You log in at the time, I log in at the time, and then we talk. We have a visit like this. You talk about what's going on with your child. Now, I will tell you, everything is so new. Our availability is so open that as soon as I'm free, I'm more than willing to text a parent, because we get your cell phone number, we get your email address as part of the intake. I'd be more than happy to say, hi, it's Dr. Di Enno. I'm free now. Would you like to talk now? Or would you rather wait till your appointment time? It's totally up to you. I do have, the appointments start at 5, but I'm typically up by 4. So if I got up and saw a parent had logged in.
She's a beast. I'm a night owl. I'm like the total opposite. I stay up late. Like last night I went to bed like 1:30.
Oh my God.
And
Oh my
then,
God,
yeah,
I've been asleep for hours and hours.
I'm like a night owl. That's when I do my best work. And then, yeah, not a
Man.
morning person. Dr. Di
Oh,
Enno and I were probably like meant to be because we're like
I know.
opposite with
We've
time.
got it covered 24
I
hours.
know.
One of us is awake. We'll meet for a
That's
nice
so
4 p.m.
funny.
dinner.
Yeah.
We'll hit it right at lunch for Dr. D.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, but if I'm more than happy to, if I get up first thing in the morning, I check my dashboard, and if I saw a parent schedule an appointment for 5 o'clock in the morning, or my first available is at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm more than happy to text them and say, I'm up. Do you guys want to talk right now? Otherwise I'll see you at your appointment time. Yeah, we are parent owned, parent oriented.
Okay. Oh, I like that. See, I like that. As a parent, I love that.
I'm not gonna lie, I need to eat. I do need a paycheck. Okay. I don't want people to feel we're being disingenuous at all. I always worry about people are like, I'm doing it exclusively for some kind of altruistic mean. I'm like, you've got to, there's a little something in there.
Yeah.
But no, absolutely. We are by parents for parents. And I'm excited about telemedicine because I think it can really help out families.
Mm-hmm.
Did that answer the question?
It did. Yes,
okay,
it did.
Cool.
And as far as the cost, is there a set cost for the visit, or does those differ?
They differ a little bit between things like subspecialty appointments versus sick visit. I want to say the sick visit right now is $99.
Okay.
The subspecialist is more expensive.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, I'm blanking on that right now.
That's okay.
Let me get you the exact information. Is there a way we can make that available for your audience?
Yeah, we'll put that in the comments. I'll put that information under the comments box.
Yes.
For them. And then one final question. What do you think separates XpertCare? Because there are many, if you know anything about telemedicine, or even if you just Google telemedicine, there are quite a bit of companies out there that do offer telemedicine. So what do you think makes XpertCare stand out? And as a parent, why should I be calling XpertCare instead of another company?
Sure.
With the exception of Dr. Di Enno, we already know that. That's established.
Yeah.
That she's working there.
I would say there is a lot of telehealth out there, but a lot of it seems to be geared towards adults, or it's kind of kids are an also kind of situation. XpertCare is peds specific, peds only. If you've ever worked with me, I have very strong opinions about who should be allowed to provide healthcare to children. Spoiler alert, it's people who are peds trained only. And so
she went on a limb saying that.
I'm sorry, but we've got stories. I know Dr. D has them too. I know she does.
Yes.
We are peds board certified. We are peds specific.
Yeah.
And we are in California at this point in time. I've looked around. I mentioned some seem to be more adult, some are adult. Yeah, sure, we'll do peds.
Yeah.
I found one that's peds specific, but they are Texas only.
Got it.
So Texas fans, you've got an option out there, but XpertCare's coming. We're coming too.
I love it. Well, I do love that. I do agree. And it's not, as you all know, I'm internal medicine and pediatrics, but I did took the same
peds residency.
Peds residency. So that's, you're doing both residencies. So it is different from family medicine.
Yes.
And I do agree with Dr. Di Enno on that. There is just a different training. It's just a different level of training when you're, I'll just speak on the pediatric side, that when you're a trained board certified pediatrician, and I think just a personal story that speaks volumes to me is I've had patients who get seen because they have some sort of genetic disorder, and they're going to a huge, these huge hospitals that, are the only places that take care of these diseases. And they specifically tell the parents, your child needs to see a pediatrician. And the reason is that pediatricians, again, you just get trained so specifically in that area, and it's not a broad training. You're not learning It's not like 30 to, 0 to 30 or anything like that. I mean, you're specifically getting trained. So I totally agree. I always tell parents that, because parents sometimes will ask, hey, is it okay, whatever. And I agree, because I don't know, it's just a different, we just get different exposure in our training.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes back to surgery. Would you want a surgeon who has done 100 gallbladders, or who's done,
Yeah.
10?
Yeah.
So obviously you would
Or
pick the one.
I participated in surgeries one time. Do you want me to do your surgery?
Yeah.
I was in
That's
there. I
true.
was
We did
wearing the
that in
outfit.
middle school.
I can totally do this.
Yeah. So it's not, I mean, it's not by no means that we're saying pediatricians are better than other physicians who,
Oh yeah.
da 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 da. By no means is it that.
Oh yeah.
And at the end of the day, parents make their own personal choice, but there is a difference there. And I would say, especially if you have a child who has like a chronic illness, I mean, I would definitely go the pediatrics route.
Yeah.
And I have had some other physicians, I mean, and again, I'll speak as some family physicians who I've worked with, that they'll tell me, hey, I could see them maybe for like sick visits, but I really want you to see them for their well child checks, because those well child checks, I know people always think, a lot of parents say, oh, they just got to come and get their shots. And people don't realize how important well child checkups are, because it's a head to toe,
Yeah.
like inside out exam that we just make sure that your child is doing well and growing appropriately. And not every provider is comfortable or has been exposed to that training as extensively as a pediatrician. So I do like that. So see, obviously you can tell that XpertCare is special. I really do like that. I feel like kids, as being med peds, I do feel like kids get missed. If you don't know, one day I'd love to be the next Dr. Oz. Dr. Di Enno, just, you can be like my co-host. Dr. Di Enno and
Nice.
I.
Nice. Yes, it's definitely your show. I will just kind of sit next to you. Can I be your Ed McMahon?
I love it. So my also go, I would love one day, or if you're listening again, and part of the
Oprah, call us.
reason, I know, holler. Part of that reason is that even with the other doctor shows that are out there, I feel that there's such a gap for kids, about kids. And one thing about pediatrics, the great thing that I really love about pediatrics is that kids are so resilient, and the majority of times it's not like some deadly disease. I mean, of course, because I know people always ask, like, especially on my medicine side, my medicine colleagues are like, I don't know how you do peds. Like, how do you even know what's going on? And how do you deal with that? And the saving grace, and I'm sure Dr. Di Enno can speak to this too, is that the majority of children are healthy and do well even after they're sick. Of course, you get those kids who don't do well, of course, and we hate that. I mean, I hate that. And but there's this gap in educating parents about kids and things that are normal. Like, parents will come and they're like, oh my gosh, they've been hiccuping, I can't, like, what's happening to my child? And they just need you to say, like, it's okay, it's normal, like, that's normal. So just little things, I feel that a show could help, just help parents, because the majority of it would just be reassurance that your child is okay, like, your child is going to be okay. But I'll tell you what, I don't know if you had this, Dr. Di Enno, I had times where stuff was happening and I was like calling up one of the residents I trained with, and even though I know my children were fine, I needed somebody to tell me that my child.
Oh no, absolutely. No, I'm a spaz when it comes to my own children. I'm an absolute spaz. No, oh, absolutely. No, I'm like, do we need to go to the ER? And my husband's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's better be safe than sorry. And he's like,
and that's like a mom thing. I think it's also just a mom thing, because people always say, oh, you're so lucky you're a pediatrician. I'm like, nope, doesn't make a difference, because we're in mama mode. When we're at home, we're in mama mode. You're not in pediatrician mode at home.
No. So, I think being a pediatrician makes it worse in some ways.
Because
when I was true story, when I was pregnant with my first daughter, we went in for the ultrasound, and the ultrasound tech said, oh, heart, 4 chambers, and I burst into tears because there were 4 chambers in the heart. That doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
I had another, with the second baby, they're talking about, oh, there's the intestines. I'm like, do they go all the way through? And they're like, yes.
What's wrong with this lady?
What's wrong with you?
I know. No, I hear you. When we found out about the triplets, so in medical school, I mean, we see ultrasounds and stuff. So I mean, you're able to overall look at something and kind of tell. So when we saw it, my husband and I were like, "There's two," and then we were super excited. And then the doctor was like, there's one hiding in the back." I was bawling. I was like in tears because the first thought that came to my mind was, oh my gosh, they're gonna come early. They're gonna have to be in the baby ICU, and my husband was like ecstatic. He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then finally, when I calmed down, I said, God put these three babies here. It's gonna be okay. But you're right, Dr. Di Enno is right. It's almost, how they say, ignorance is bliss, because more. You're like, this can go wrong, and is that
Oh yeah.
happening? And I mean, I won't lie. When all three of my babies came out, I was like, does everybody have 10 fingers and 10 toes? That was like my first thing. Yeah, my husband was saying the same thing. Weirdo, what's happening here? Like, what's wrong with
30
you?
fingers, 30 toes. Look.
But, well, awesome. Well, do you have any closing remarks for the viewers?
I would like to say that I think part of my job as a pediatrician really is to help parents enjoy the journey of parenting. Okay. A lot of it is reassurance. So please, when you go see your kid's pediatrician, please don't hesitate to ask questions. There are no stupid questions. All right. And if you feel like you're not connecting with somebody, I would encourage you to reach out and find somebody you do connect with. Okay. Stand firm. You know your kiddo. All right. If you feel like something's wrong, find somebody who will listen. All right. But do us a favor and please do listen to us too when we give you evidence-based information. Thinking of one topic in particular. And I would say that I really hope to continue that mission with XpertCare. I would really love to continue to help parents and help families and make things just a little bit easier for parents and their kids.
Awesome. I love it. And you guys, I have done a video about the importance of choosing a pediatrician, and I'm a huge proponent. I agree with Dr. Di Enno that, they have what are called prenatal meet and greet visits, where you can go in, you can sit, it's a free visit normally, and you can meet the physicians who are there, or the physician, or if they have nurse practitioners, meet the staff, see the office. But I'm totally aligned with Dr. Di Enno that you want to feel comfortable, whether it's your physician or your child's physician, talking to them, asking them questions. You definitely want to relate, because I'm laid back, and not everybody wants somebody who's laid back. Like, some people want like a kind of like Doogie Howser kind of, and I mean, that's fine, because then, if we all didn't have a specific personality that we like, then one practice could, one physician or a couple physicians in one practice couldn't see everybody in the world. So you just need to find who you get along with and you feel comfortable with, and who you think is giving good care that you agree with. And yes, to second Dr. Di Enno, please listen. I always tell my patients and my parents, we can't force you to do things, but we make recommendations. But we want you to make a well-educated decision, not anything based off of Facebook, blogs, famous people. I mean, we dedicate our lives, and I'm always adamant about like the NIH, the people at the National Institute of Health, the people at the CDC, the Center of Disease Control, physicians. I mean, we take an oath not to harm anybody purposely, and there's researchers out there who've dedicated their lives to research to help decrease disease numbers or cure diseases. So, I mean, these people are going like above and beyond to make an impact in this world. So when we do that, we really just want you to make a good decision about yourself and your family and their future, because a lot of the decisions that are being made now will affect your child, your family, even children around your children, because the numbers of certain diseases are going up, measles, mumps, rubella, going up, and it's hard. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's hard. It's difficult. And but just make a educated decision. I always ask my parents and family to make that decision. So, well, Dr. Di Enno, tell us how we can get in contact with you, or how we can hook up with XpertCare if we need our child to get checked out.
Yes, absolutely. So you can reach me at Lisa Dienno at expertcare.online, LISADIENNO at XpertCare without that first E, just XpertCare .online. That's my email address. We also have an Instagram page, XpertCare Online. We have a Facebook page, XpertCare, and the website is expertcareonline.com.
And remember, like she said, expert is X, the letter X, per care, not EX. So,
right.
Well, awesome. Well, I'll definitely have those links below. So in case you missed it, you can always check those out. Again, if you have any questions or comments that you want me to shoot to Dr. Di Enno, I'll be more than happy to do that. And we'll also try and get the prices down there to you. And definitely check out their.
That.
Oh, that's all right. Definitely, they're just starting. We're 24 hours in. I mean, this is we're all just human here. So definitely check it out. Support them. I believe it's a good thing, mamas and dads out there. If you're in a situation where you can't get your child to the physician and you want a quick visit online to get your child checked out, definitely this is a good option. So I'm excited about it. So we'll probably hopefully have Dr. Di Enno back maybe in a few months or so, maybe next year, the beginning of next year, to see how the company's doing, see how she's doing, what new specialists they have in store, any changes that are there. So we'll definitely be following up with Dr. Di Enno because she's cool, right? She's cool. So we only have cool guests on this show. My two guests that I've thoroughly enjoyed. So, well, awesome. Well, everybody, don't forget to wash your hands, kiss your kids, love your family, and say your prayers. Good night. Thank you so much for joining you. Love you. You take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.